Shore on board the Smooth Jazz Cruise, week 1, 2013. I'm with smoothjazz.com, Smooth Travel, and of course, the Smooth Jazz Cruise. First time guest with us, Bob James. Hey, Bob.
First time, and I'm surviving a little bit of rough seas. We got the sea in the background we're looking at, and I see a couple of white caps out there, but so far so good.
Nobody's sick yet?
Not that I know of. I haven't heard anybody getting sick, and
No.
I'd probably be the first, but...
No, I hope not. We've actually had beautiful weather this week. It was phenomenal in Cozumel and Belize, but did start to get a little bit choppy. You put on an amazing show last night. My goodness.
I was very inspired, Sandy. I was meeting these musicians for the first time that had been handpicked because of their skills at adaptability, and I learned in a big way how quickly they responded to my music. I was very flattered by it, but most of all, I was just impressed with the musicianship, and it made me feel like I wanted to work hard to keep up with them and to earn the luxury that I had for playing with them.
Yeah, and it was inspired. I saw you backstage afterwards, and you said, "Where did the time go?"
Yeah, it did. It really. I was looking around, and it's kind of strict the way they have the scheduling. There's so many artists on this, and when they told me to do 60 minutes, they were saying seriously up to the point where there was a little clock down there below the keyboard, and when it was down to around 5 minutes to go, I better hit Westchester Lady real quick because I know exactly how long that song lasts, and I'm coming down to at the last 16 bars. I'm looking at the second hand, and I made it, more or less. I think I ran over by a few seconds.
Oh, nobody minded, really. No one cared. And the drum solo with you and the piano was with Jay Williams was fabulous. People were out of their seats on that one.
Well, he didn't know it was coming, and that's another thing that I love to do with those guys, to surprise them, and because they don't know exactly when a solo is going to happen or not. And I can learn whether they're humble enough to just be accompanists if that solo moment doesn't happen. But I knew that Jay would want to show off some of the stuff that he can do. And last minute, I kind of pointed at him on Westchester and did some trades back and forth. It was a lot of fun.
It was fun. We all felt it. And everyone was just thrilled to be playing with you. I mean, the artists that you play with, from Foreplay to all of the greats you've played with over the years, what a pleasure I'm sure it was for them as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have this group, Foreplay, they're my friends, that we've refined our performance art over many, many, many discussions, rehearsals, 20 years worth of playing on all different kinds of circumstances. But nevertheless, there's something great in the jazz field about that first time that you make music with somebody and learn about them, and they may approach swing in a little bit different way. They may have these ideas that only come out if you send them signals, if you give them the latitude or the confidence or the signal that it's time to be creative. And it's fresh and a little bit dangerous for me too. Completely different experience than playing with Foreplay.
And we like a little danger, don't we?
We do. It's got to be part of it. I think for the audience, if they know everything that's going to happen next, they get a little sleepy or too much in the comfort zone. And I like to stay ahead of the audience just enough that I make them pay attention, hopefully.
I like that. That's great. Bob's been working hard on this cruise. We've seen you on stage talking with David Sanborn about Double Vision and your career highlights. You just got through doing a nice showcase with Brian Simpson and Brian Culbertson about keyboards and playing a little bit there, and then your show last night. And this is what you experience on the Smooth Jazz Cruise, artists in different settings and different venues doing all kinds of different things. Or as I like to say, artists jamming with artists.
Yeah, I was surrounded by Brians today.
You were an Oreo, weren't you? We had a chat with David the other day, and he was mentioning that you two are working something new out together.
We sure are. We've been in the studio. We were in New York in the studio in December, and we cut a whole bunch of tunes. We've got maybe enough and more for the new CD that we're working on. And I'm actually doing some production stuff on the cruise. I got a little miniature studio set up in my room for the days when I have some free time. And I've been having fun doing some little sweetening stuff and listening to the new tunes a lot. And I think it's very exciting. Dave and I were determined to, speaking of danger, we didn't want to just copy or relive Double Vision. It was something that was, for us, you can't go back. It's better to to forge forward. So we took a little bit different direction, and ironically, we were kind of using the model of the Dave Brubeck Quartet, because this instrumentation of the alto sax and the piano and bass drums, very acoustic sound, and Dave was a big fan of Paul Desmond, and I was, of course, a huge fan of the whole quartet, and that music that they made in that era in the 50s was very experimental and exciting and dangerous in its time. So we are hoping to do our version of that, not to try to sound like them, but to show our respect for that history of the quartet with the alto sax and piano. And then, ironically, Dave passed away during the time that we were actually creating the music. Dave Brubeck. Yeah, whoops, not Dave Sanborn, but yes, Mr. Brubeck, who lived a long and full life and contributed so much to jazz history. Two of the songs that I wrote for this new project are kind of dedicated to him.
Very nice. Wow, that's exciting. Very exciting. Always good to catch up with BJ, and we do from time to time around the world, don't we?
We sure do. And we got to stop meeting in these crazy places. Next time on dry land.
Yeah, okay. The dangerous Bob James with us on board the Smooth Jazz Cruise 2013. We'll see you here soon for your cabin. Go to thesmoothjazzcruise.com. For Bob, what is your website?
BobJames.com.
Okay, I thought maybe it was something tricky,
No spaces, just Bob James.
Not Bob James Danger?
We had to do foreplayjazz.com for the Foreplay website, because if you go to foreplay.com, it's a little bit different deal. That's not a jazz site.
A funny thing is, I've actually been to that other website. But looking for your music. Okay. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Sure.